All right, we are back. It's great to be back on with you guys. It is November 7th, election day across the USA. All right, I hope everybody got out there today to do your civic duty. Get out and vote, 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 man. Even if it's for small elections, you need to get out there. You need to be, taking part in the process. You can't complain unless you're actually out there doing the work, right? So make sure you get out. Great election day. But yeah, we're back on, and my partners over here, John Martinez and Sandra Ambertate, they went to the International Association of Chiefs of Police just a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about a couple other issues, and all right, let's get this show started. All right, guys. So you guys went out to California. Actually, Sandra, you live out there, so it wasn't too far of a drive for you. And John drove over from Arizona, and you guys went and attended this. So what was it like? What did you guys see this year?
It was awesome. So we got to spend a couple days. John came out. It was at the convention center in downtown San Diego. Really cool location. Very similar to the SHOT Show, just on a smaller scale. So a lot of law enforcement, local, federal level, a lot of good new innovations and different companies. We actually had an awesome meeting with Fortress Company. You probably heard us talk about them before. They are a clothing company that's kind of integrated technology into to keep people warm in extreme weather conditions. So
I'll be wearing their gear when I hunt this weekend. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Awesome company. They do have some new stuff that they actually released recently. I believe John made some purchases and was sold instantly on the spot. But yeah, it was really, really good meeting and a lot of great organizations. John, do you want to touch bases maybe on a few others that we met that stands out to you?
Yeah, no, it was like Sandra said, it was like the SHOT Show, but for law enforcement community, and it was massive, Fab. So next time you definitely have to come out to go see it. But Sandra and I started our day, and we just said, "Hey, let's go to the right." And we probably saw that day easy like 100 different companies out there just helping out the law enforcement community with fentanyl detection devices, which was interesting that now there's a company in Tucson that they actually can point a laser, at the bag of a substance and actually determine what it is.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
just for the or law enforcement officers out there, I'm not sure if they are aware of it. But that's definitely something where you don't have to mess around with fentanyl and seeing some videos. I know there was a dramatic video a couple years ago in San Diego where a deputy just walked up to it and ended up having to get Narcan at least 5 or 6 times to bring him back. So it's really serious stuff that goes on. So luckily, there are companies out there that are coming up with new technology. So hopefully, our law enforcement brothers and sisters see that and definitely reach out to them. Then after that, the other thing that we saw that was a lot of mental health awareness companies out there, which I know we have some friends there, Megan and Adam from the National Law Enforcement Hall of Fame, something they brought up to us a couple times when we talked to them. And there was just a bunch of companies out there that were geared towards our first responders for their mental health and well-being. So that's great to see.
Yeah,
And then after
it's
that,
such a huge point in law enforcement right now. I mean, it's really good that we're starting to see people, really look at that, and we're having companies stand up and go out there. So, like for the mental health stuff, like what kind of products were they offering? Was it just on the counseling side, or was it like, you're starting to see a lot of like meditation and self awareness and stuff like that. So, what did you guys see?
so the different ones that we ran into, it almost looked like it was type of an app product where if someone needed to talk to mental health representative that had access to it. And it looks like too they actually have some more programs. So if people weren't aware of where they can actually get this help to do that, and us working with ICE back in the day, I know that they started to look at different types of meditation training for our officers there to kind of get the mental health back up where they need to go. So yeah, it looked like these companies are getting more innovative. If instead of like showing up to a place or making a phone call, now you can just use your phone and that technology on your phone to reach out to these folks if you need that much needed help. And I know, when we were in, there was always a service that we could call, but I think now that's literally at your fingertips. Hopefully, more and more folks that need to talk to someone gets that opportunity and chance to. So that was good. Um, yeah, and after that, there was a tons of drones that we saw. Everyone now is using drones for everything, for breach-in doors, for that surveillance. A lot of drone companies out there. We actually saw a company called Nice, and I said to Sandra, I'm like, I wonder if Fab's over there at that booth. So we walked over, but it was an analytical company, so it wasn't the Nice that we know of. But yeah, I mean, that was like the first day. And then obviously we talked to a lot of officers that were there. We met up with our ERO buddies, seeing what's new going on. And HSI was out there. And I know Sandra went to go talk to them with the Department of State. So we just did a lot of talking to those folks that with those products going on and talking to some of the officers. That were there representing their agencies, recruiting wise. So the first day wasn't too bad.
Did you guys happen to attend any of the training that was there? I know that they put on a lot of seminars and different things that go on over there. Did you see if there was were there any good speakers that had shown up or anything like that?
We actually ran into a friend of mine from Deloitte, and they came out there early that day to go see Secretary Mayorkas talk. They thought he was going to be on the premises, and they get up bright and early to go see him, and they come to realize that he did his virtually from the East Coast.
Yeah, Secretary Mayorkas.
So we can jump on that conversation with him in a bit, but no. So we were looking out there. I mean, they have some pretty interesting things we were looking at. And Sandra and I had to make that business decision to cut loose to go attend some of the seminars, which, again, there's so much content there. There's tons of people. I mean, it was literally, like Sandra said, mini SHOT Show. There were probably easy 5,000 people walking around different companies. So we just wanted to see technology-wise what was out there, and then looking to see who we could talk to afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a big part of our company is making those connections. So, get out there, meeting people, and then helping them make the connections to other companies where the whatever products are needed, and setting up those pathways for them. So, Sandra, I know you've been working a lot of different things with the military. What's coming up on that front with getting the military into on the job training programs as they transition from within the military to civilian life?
Yeah, so actually, John and I, even at the conference, we get a chance to talk to a couple of different agencies. So, like you mentioned, we had the State Department, HSI, ERO, all these different companies that were present. Some of them weren't aware about different internship opportunities and different programs that are out there, right? Because we want to bridge that gap between transitioning service members and the federal sector. So that was very successful. I was able to connect with some, teams and actually create some relationships to where they actually have a phone call tomorrow with HSI, because they're interested in, whether it's hiring service members that are transitioning out of the military or offering opportunities for on-the-job training, internships, that kind of resources. So it was really good. There is some in the works of a couple possible, grants coming up for our company, maybe kind of helping out, like the water district and a couple other local agencies or local companies that are here in San Diego and Southern California. So definitely trying to reach out to the community and, make sure that everybody knows about our company and our passion about helping service members, transitioning service members, or anyone who's already out and maybe, still struggling to find that dream job or don't know how to get into the federal sector, because that could be very complicated. So definitely a lot in the books. It's, the word is spreading, and definitely passionate about helping that the military and the law enforcement, kind of bridging those gaps when it comes to transition.
Well, we're coming up here on Veterans Day, so I want to wish you a happy Veterans Day as an Army veteran.
And back to you, John.
So we've got the Air Force and the Army here, and yeah, so happy Veterans Day, and happy Veterans Day to everybody that's listening who may have served our country. But I could not, unfortunately, go to the International Chiefs of Police with these guys this time. I mean, we're looking at going to the SHOT Show this year, so we'll have some content from there. But couldn't make it out this year because I had some other things going on. So
tell us more, Pap. Tell us more.
What exactly is going on in the tour?
I made a big step and filed with the FEC, the Federal Election Committee, to run in the 6th Congressional District of Colorado for Congress. So I'm making a little bit of a transition from my civilian life served 30 years with the government overall, with the military and federal law enforcement, and retired last year. Got on with these great guys to develop this company and start to build up this company, and decided to take another step and another project. So we'll be talking about that throughout the year. But yeah, that's where I was, and yeah, just one more thing to add to my ever-growing pile of things that I'm involved in. But
let me ask you a question too. Just
sure.
Curious, were you always interested in politics?
Actually, yes. So, I was kind of a little political geek going through school. Belonged to all the political clubs and student council. I was the president of my high school. Just always really involved in the political process. But as I, worked for the federal government, it was really hard to be involved because, we have to be nonpartisan, and especially as I got into higher management positions, you have to be really careful with the Hatch Act and, just what you're voicing out there. You serve a president. It doesn't matter, what their political affiliation is. So, your politics kind of took a back burner for many, many years for me. I always voted, always was involved in the political process that way. But it has been something that, it's just been like this passion of mine. And, I was able to retire at 50 and, I had this opportunity to do this and still serve my country. And took that opportunity. So that's what, I know you guys are going to support me, and you guys are going to be helping me work on this throughout the whole year. So, it's a passion thing, and I'm happy that I'm involved now.
And let me ask you this. I mean, right now, and Sandra and I were talking about this a couple of days ago. I mean, with all the things going on in the country right now, you got, the open border. You got now the crisis going on in the Middle East. You got inflation on the rise. You got, you look at our energy supply. Everything is like hitting us at once. For yourself, I mean, what do you feel is like the biggest issues right now? I mean, specifically in Colorado too, where they're starting to see all sorts of things. I think there was an article a couple of days ago where the mayors, I believe it was in LA, Chicago, New York, and Denver, were getting together to talk with the administration about helping out due to their sanctuary policies. They can't take that. But you look at it, there's so much going on. I mean, where do you think, I mean, let's look at our crystal ball. It's now election day, and then the crowd goes wild. Sandra and I are drinking some champagne. John Favretori is elected to Congress. Where would you say, you would say this needs to get done first?
Well, number one, we need to make Congress efficient because, that's where our rule of law comes from. And, Congress really needs to start working together to get stuff done for the American people. I mean, we are feeling it financially. We're feeling it in our national security. There's just so many things that are going on in this country. And, it all leads to the, 3 levels of government. We have to make government more efficient to serve the American people. And that's what it is. It serves the taxpayer. And, right now, I just really don't feel like the government does that. It doesn't serve the taxpayer like it should. So, I really feel like politicians need to get back to that level that they need to realize that they are the voice of the people. They're not kings and queens. We don't do that in this country. We don't elect people to rule us. We elect people to serve us. And, so that's initially what we need to get back to. And we need to figure out financially in this country, because, people are hurting. They're hurting to put food on the table. People are worried about national security. They're worried about what's going on overseas. But in order to cure all those things, our government has to work efficiently. And, that's what we really need to work on is getting in there and, working together. We can't be divided as we are in this country and move this country forward. It just can't happen with the massive separation that we have right now. And we need to remember that we're Americans. Our Constitution is what's important. And again, we just need to get in there and go to work. And if I get elected, I'm just going to go to work. And that's what we need to do. That's what every politician needs to do.
No, amen to that. That's, it's you look at everything that's going on. I mean, just right now in the streets all over America with what's going on in the Middle East, like you said, that divide, it's literally on sidewalks, people just shouting, and the other law enforcement community stuck right in the middle trying to be like a referee there. And I get it. Everyone has a lot of stake in this. And I think we saw that a couple of days ago at the White House, that protest they had out there and what they left. So it's going to take, to me, and this is my opinion, it's going to take like a change. And like you said, and representation up there. I mean, the folks that are up there now, they're doing, I think, the best what they can, but it's always good for a new change in blood. But the one thing I always notice is I always see these political ads on TV, and everyone says, "Oh, I'm going to go be tough on the border." And I don't know if they ever been to the border before, even know what the border looks like. And I know with Sandra, you and I were down in El Paso back in May when Title 42 went down to go kind of get a chance to see what that was going on. And Sandra had some commitments, and you and I were down at the border a few months ago. I mean, do you see that going forward? Head back down there and kind of get a good sense, because we got our local law enforcement who, down here they're used to it, but in our interior cities they may not have seen this. I go, even you and I down there saw in all these different countries talking to the border patrol. There's going down there, but is that, you see that in your future heading back?
Yeah, the border's definitely a mess. I mean, you and I have been down there a couple of times. Sandra's come out with to the border in California with us, she's in El Paso with us. But you and I, John, are going to probably head back down to Arizona here before Christmas and do another border trip. Something. So if you're listening to this broadcast, you can look forward to us reporting on that again. Like I said, we've been down there. We're still seeing everything that's going on, and the reason that we continue to go down to the border is because it's relevant that we are keeping people up to date on what's happening now. John and I both retired last year. It's not right to just talk about things that we knew in our career. Things need to be relevant. We need to be time sensitive. This is what's happening in front of our face right now. So I think it is important for us to continue to get down to the border and report about the situation as we're seeing it in front of our eyes, just not what we're reading in the newspaper, on X and everywhere else. We need to be reporting what we are seeing. So yeah, it's very important. But in order for lawmakers, in order for Congress to really do something about it, it's going to take a bipartisan effort. It's nothing is going to get passed if one side just says this is the way it's going to be. I mean, unfortunately, there are going to have to be some concessions made. There are certain things that I'm a solid line on. I don't believe we need amnesty. Amnesty didn't work under Reagan, and it just got worse. And you can't reward people who do things illegally. There are tons of people who come in legally and go through the legal process over many years to become citizens. Our great president of our company, Sandra, is one of them. Immigrated here to the United States and did everything the right way and became a United States citizen, served our country, did everything that you're supposed to do, and is a success story. And that many other people can do that as well. And it's just that, that's what we have to do. We need to uphold the law. And, if there are some, concessions and whether we up those numbers, allowing certain amounts of people in and, make the process a little bit smoother for people who are going through the citizenship process. I mean, there's always things that we can do to make the process better. And I definitely think that we should do that. But yeah, we'll, you and I will be down at the border. We'll get together with Sandra. We'll do a couple more projects. We'll have lots of stuff for everybody out there to see. But we're going to call it an evening. We've had a good time talking to everybody, letting everybody know what's going on with the Complete Solution Group. And again, happy Veterans Day to our veterans out there. And if we don't see you guys before Thanksgiving, have a good Thanksgiving as well. But we will try to get down to the border and give you guys some more content from there. Sandra, John, anything to close out with?
Sandra?
No, I was going to say, Fab, do you want to share your website, and if anyone wants to help with your fundraising or anything along those lines?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. So if anyone would like to check out my congressional website and even throw some money down to the campaign, that's at JohnFab, FABB, the number 4 Congress.com, or just John Fabricatori, my whole name, 4 Congress, FOR Congress.com. And you can visit my website and throw some donations down if you feel inclined to do so. I'd appreciate it.
No, and just to end, to all those folks serving, here within the country, be safe. And for all those service members that are overseas right now, fingers crossed that cooler has prevailed and, peace is the solution. So to be careful to all of them. And lastly, definitely look at John's website. You see what John represents. And I know if I lived in Colorado, it'd be somebody I would want up there on behalf of my interests, leading us into this next year going forward. So on that note, everyone have a good night. Happy Veterans Day. We don't get to talk again, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And we'll chat with you guys all again real soon.
See you guys soon.
See ya.